So how do you create a legend? It's not easy, but it's usually better to find something that's already legendary rather than find something that isn't. Because it's harder to make something legendary than make something that already is legendary more legendary. So what Christopher Nolan did with Batman is extremely interesting because what he did was he made a character that already existed. He existed already in the comic books in every which way that the fans thought was wrong. And he changed it completely to fit his style, to fit his taste. See, when you're a director, you have more full reign than the actors. Like, it's the director that cares about what you do and why you do it, and nobody else. The producers don't give a shit. The agencies that are hiring these actors, they just want their actors to do well. But if you're a director and you're asking for actors, the agency will be spitting out actors that they think would suit your characters. Like, well, Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Foxx really wanted to be Heath Ledger's Joker, but they didn't become the Joker. They became other characters. Like, Robert Downey Jr.'s most famous role is either Iron Man or Detective Sherlock Holmes. For Jamie Foxx, he was very good in Dreamgirls. I don't know what else. Anyway, the point is that when you're a director, you have more reign. And you can go to school, you can not go to school, it doesn't really matter. The point is that you have a vision and you want to see your vision on screen. Or you have a vision and you want to see your vision in a play. But the directors in a play are very different than directors in a movie. I can't tell you what directors in a play do because I've never really talked, well, I've spoken to directors in plays. Never mind. A director in a play will try to really capture what you're doing on the stage because they want you to do well. In the movies, directors don't have to care if the actors do well. That's not their purpose. Their purpose is to just get the characters created. So there are some terrible directors, like Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's a terrible director. You know why? Because, well, first of all, he wrote Wonder Woman. If you listen to the words of Wonder Woman, it's extremely cliche. Like, extremely. The kids and everybody else will eat it up like clockwork, but it's cliche. Batman's movies that Christopher Nolan did are not cliche. They might be cliche lines, because sometimes you can't help that, but what he did is he wrote a script with words, not just details and how to do this and how to do that, and this happens and that building blows up. He created a story, which is what you want as a director. You want a storyline. It's all about Batman trying to become Batman. Dark Knight's all about the Joker trying to thwart Batman. Third one's about Bane trying to thwart Batman, who thinks he really could do it, and he could have done it, but he failed. So that's how those movies work. But what's also interesting is in the beginning, the villains or criminals are fearing Batman because they don't know what Batman is. They don't know if he's a spook. They don't know if he's a person. They don't know anything because all they've heard is stories. That's how you make a legend. When people are talking to you, but they're talking to you about stories. They're not talking to you about a character that exists. They're talking to you about stories. There have been Batmans in our time. You could argue that presidents have been Batman, prime ministers have been Batman, but they didn't actually become Batman because Batman is a character that so far in the world has never existed. No superhero has really tried to be a superhero. Like, no person, no human being on this earth has ever attempted to become what Batman is. And it doesn't matter if you're rich. It doesn't matter if you're poor. All you want to do is stop crime from escalating. But what's interesting about crime is there's different ways to understand crime. You can understand crime as thievery. You can understand crimes as people blowing up cities. You can think of crime as homeless people. See, Toronto doesn't need a Batman, but it needs someone to fix our homeless problem. We have too many homeless people. It's a big problem, and it's dangerous. Like, there are shady areas. And also, people are doing drug deals still out in the open, which is not good. That should not happen. We need someone to get afraid of that. So, like, yesterday I witnessed a drug deal on the street, in my area. And I'm like, I don't give a shit if you're dealing marijuana, cocaine, meth. I don't give a fuck. What I care about is the fact that you're dealing on my street, in my area, and you haven't been caught. That's what I care about, because I am an enforcer of the law, not against it. I used to be behind the other side of the curtain, and it's scary. It's terrifying. The fact that you could walk out your door and get shot, that's not a good experience. You don't want that experience. But a lot of the greatest actors have become those characters, those villains. Bryan Cranston, I don't know. Well, Liam Neeson. What's his name? Tom Hardy, Heath Ledger. They all became what is feared in the world, which is crime. But not just crime, people that can actually thwart the law, destroy it, make it something immaterial. Those people are dangerous. Not me. I'm not dangerous. People can think I'm dangerous, and that's funny, because they're idiots. But anyway, that's more personal about me. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about creating stories. And I say Christopher Nolan is one of the masters of storytelling, because what he's done is he doesn't just direct, he doesn't just write, he's there. He watches the movie unfold. If it doesn't make sense, he fixes it. If Batman doesn't seem like Batman, he fixes it. If Bruce Wayne doesn't seem like Bruce Wayne, he fixes it. If Heath Ledger's Joker was terrible, he would have been like, Heath Ledger, you're fired. But he was brilliant, so he didn't fire him. If Aaron Eckhart wasn't able to make Harvey Dent's Two-Face good, he would again have fired him. In this world, we can't be sparing anymore. We are too sparing for too many people. Like, Kanye West deserves to die. Or Kanye West deserves to be fired from his job because he sucks at it. I don't care about your music. You wrote a song about fucking Taylor Swift. That is not cool. I don't give a shit who you are. I'm not even famous. But I am not letting you get away with this. And this is what I've done. I've let people get away with so many things, and I've had it. You know what? Honestly, my goal was to protect a city. And it's not working. And I don't give a shit what you think about me, or what you think about the other people that have been trying to do what I've been doing. I don't give a shit. All I give a shit about is crime stops. All of it. Homelessness to me is like a crime. Because homeless people think they can get away with anything. Because they're drunk and stupid. And, I've been in areas where people think I'm a cop. I'm not a cop. But you think I'm a cop? Well, then I am a cop. Like, how do you tell who's a cop and who's not a cop? Unless the kid's like 4 years old. He's clearly not running the police department. So, people don't get it. But they don't understand that the biggest element that we have as human beings is fear. The moment we start getting afraid is the moment we start screwing up. So if I get someone more afraid of me than I'm afraid of me, that's an accomplishment. That's what you want. You want someone to fear you more than you fear yourself. Because everyone gets scared. Everyone gets afraid. Everyone gets nervous. Everyone gets annoyed. Everyone fights something, even if it's in their head. That's not the point. The point is that if you scare me, then I need to fix myself. But if I scare you, then I'm doing something right. Why do you think Halloween is so popular? We get to dress up as different people. Some people are even born on Halloween. But why is fear a thing we have to actually fear? As Hermione says, fear in the name only enforces fear itself, or whatever. It's an interesting line, because basically it means that what you should be afraid of is fear, not what you actually are afraid of, like bats, or dogs, or wolverines, or wolves, or coyotes. Doesn't matter. Raccoons. Doesn't matter. The point is that you are afraid of this. And what you need to do is face your fear. So some people think that if you're afraid of dogs, you get thrown into a pit of dogs. But if you really want to get scared, you got all these dogs angry, barking at you, maybe rabies. I don't know. The point is that it's terrifying. And you get out. But the point is you might not get out. You get thrown into a pit of dogs, and the point is you might not get out. Like in The Dark Knight Rises, you get thrown into that huge pit. No one expects you to survive. The fact that Bruce does just shows how he's actually stronger than all the people in the cell. Because it's a jail cell, basically. They cast these criminals out and hope they get destroyed. And usually they do. Bane got his face mauled, or something happened. We don't know. The point is, it doesn't matter. Also, you got to figure out is, when you're watching a movie, You're not just watching it for the story. You're also watching it for the backstory that you don't see. So if you don't think this makes sense, try to add something that would. And if you still are stuck, then this is a terrible movie. Because if you can't explain what's not explained, then you have a terrible movie you've been watching. I don't care about plot holes in Dark Knight Rises. Yes, I could figure them out. But that's not the point. The point is Batman saves the day. That's what it's about. It's not about if Batman loses, if Batman doesn't win. It's Batman saves the day. If he saves it by losing, which is exactly what happens in Dark Knight Rises, because Bane says something very interesting, which is true. He's like, victory has defeated you. He's right. Victory has defeated Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne believes that Batman has saved Gotham, not realizing that other criminals could still come into Gotham. See, what's interesting is what they don't reflect on is when Bruce Wayne leaves Gotham, everything's going to come back to normal. Like, everything, the crime could raise, probably won't, because people are now afraid that Batman exists, and they've seen him, they know what he does, because he's in their city. Or crime will just appear again because they realize that Batman's not needed. And therefore, they can come back into the light. But that's not the point of Christopher Nolan's movies. Not what happens after Batman. The point is, what does Batman do if that happens again? Does he go back into his costume? No, he wouldn't. He's retired. But then that's someone else come onto the screen. Like, I don't know, Hawkeye. Or that's a different universe. Like Catwoman. Well, no, Catwoman's with him. Robin. There you go. That's how they were supposed to end it. So Robin, who's Blake, or Robin, becomes the new Robin. We don't get to see Robin, but that's not the point. The point is that Batman leaves with someone else to take his place. Because the thing is, what people don't really realize is the reason Batman's not insane and not the Joker, because the Joker is just a crazy person, but he's not actually crazy. He uses his craziness to basically subject fear in his victims, and he thinks Bruce is one of his victims until he realizes he's not. The Joker knows, or Jack Napier knows, that Bruce is Batman, but he doesn't care, and that's the point. Because to him, he just wants to have fun, like a child with a gun. He just wants to have fun. Harley Quinn just wants to be with her twin, which is the Joker. I don't care about that weird midget that you announced at the beginning of these weird Joker comics. Point is, Harley is one of the most prolific villains that the Joker has ever created. Because he created Harley Quinn. Harley Frances Quinzel is a person. Harleen Frances Quinzel is a person. And she got rid of that name because she wants to be Harley Quinn. Because she wants to be with the Joker. But then there's all these comic books about her being without the Joker and with the Joker. And it's like, in the end, girl, we only get one person we really love. One. Your children you can love, but you can't love them as much as your wife, or more, because that would trump the reason your wife exists. Anyway, what wasn't the point of this video. What was the point of this video? Right, the point of this video was to basically tell you all that it's not hard to be a director. What's hard is being an actor.